we know more as an audience while watching stuff that she doesn't get to see, essentially. But right from the get-go, when they show up to the house unexpected, like, I don't remember inviting them. Like, you guys didn't invite them. They're being scumbags. Like, I just got pissed off and shit. Like, this is gonna be the intro of the video. Yeah.
5 vodka à goût, s'il te plaît.
C'est bizarre, hein?
Le petit arrière-goût?
Ouais.
C'est le GSB.
What's up, YouTube? We are Drive-By Movies, and we're coming at you with another episode of
Fresh Releases.
My name is James.
My name's Blaze.
And a new movie just popped up on Netflix. It's 2 years old, but it's new to us. It came out in 2020 to the US of A. We are reviewing Milf.
On doit penser qu'on est des cougars en fait.
Vous êtes pas des cougars, plutôt des milfs.
Mother, I would like to fuck.
Milf is the story of three friends all in their 40s and while on vacation start relationships with younger guys. So James, this movie, like you said, it's from 2018. I'm kind of curious, was it just released in the US? Was this a worldwide release? I know Netflix loves that, Netflix worldwide. So I'm kind of curious on the story of that. But the director of this film, Axel Lafont, she also is starring in it. She's playing Elise, the main character. And this film, it seems like it might be personal. I don't know. What did you think about it?
Well, I never seek out like a bad movie, essentially. There's sometimes where I can tell a movie's going to be bad and like I'll still just be curious enough to see what happens. I just walked into this movie just because we're like, well, it's quarantine. We're still trying to figure out like new releases to watch and stuff. And this is new to Netflix. But already I'd say this is a running for the worst movie I've seen this year. Yeah. I'd say overall the main problem with the movie is the script. And also I feel like, I don't know if, like, please let us know in the comments. Maybe this movie is not meant for me in particular or anything, but was this based off a TV show or something? Not sure if there's any fun facts about that, but it just felt like I was thrown into a story and I'm like, I thought I was supposed to know who these characters were ahead of time. Like, it kind of felt like I was watching the movie Clown, but I still found Clown pretty funny at times. But my main problem when I first saw it was that I didn't have any like kind of reference to go by. I was just kind of thrown in and the story kind of just develops really quickly. Mm-hmm. And like I knew you had like some background in watching the TV show. I didn't. So I was just thrown into that movie. But I still found some funny moments in that movie. But there's nothing really funny in this movie. And also I just felt like I was just thrown into a story out of nowhere as well.
Yeah, I definitely could see the comparisons to Clown. That might be the case. Honestly, I did try to do a little bit of research before, and I didn't find that was the case. I know that she's considered a comedian. I don't know if that means stand-up or just comedy films necessarily. So it could be that this similar story. I do find it interesting that, you know, whether this film was shelved for 2 years or maybe it's finally just making its worldwide or debut. I couldn't even find any other reviews like for this film, like even on YouTube. So we're the only English language reviews so far that I've found. The others there's one in Hindi and one in Spanish. So it's going to be our competition for this video. But yeah, I thought the film was like, it reminded me very much of like, had all the similar tropes that like movies kind of like almost like The Hangover, like those kinds of style of like raunchy comedies had. It had like those fun kind of moments, but it just felt played out here in 2020. I did like the aspects of like the women falling in love and like all having their own little kind of it's not really an affair because they all are single, but like their own, you know, relationships, or one of them isn't single, but yeah, they're having their own relationships. I thought that was interesting. It was kind of fun in that aspect. I like that, like, because it's a French movie, like, they didn't hold back, you know. This is a sex comedy, and I feel like it at least delivers on that aspect. Like, it is pretty raunchy, and like I thought a lot of those aspects were really funny. But overall, like the story, I don't feel like it suffices on anything other than those like nice kind of like somewhat sweet and like somewhat, you know, sultry moments as well. So other than that, it's just like I watched it, it happened, I don't know. It's another thing that's gonna pop up on your Netflix queue. You might check it out. You might not. I thought the trailer was kind of funny, and that's really what pulled me into wanting to watch this and like telling you about it. And then like after, I just felt bad. I'm like, oh, James is not gonna like this one. Like,
I love that you were watching and thinking like, oh,
I just felt like I made a mistake. I'm like, damn, he's really gonna hold this against me.
well, like, so I feel like with a lot of raunchy comedies, you always got to start off with a bang, I guess. Like, that was the thing with American Pie movies. Like, each intro is always trying to outdo the raunchiness of the, like, one previously before it, essentially. And so, like, it was like a raunchy opening, but just like, it wasn't like that funny. And I was just like, okay, I'm down for a raunchy comedy, though. I'm excited. And it never really beat that opening scene. That opening scene wasn't all that crazy, but there was just like no motivation behind it, I felt like, too. Like, there wasn't a set goal. She just felt like flashing someone because they were trailing them. That was like a weird thing to do. I felt like.
It totally didn't make sense.
Yeah, like if I'm getting trailed by someone, I let them go around and flip them off or something. I don't want to like be like, yo, check out my goods and stuff. Like, you know, like whatever. Like it was like, I got excited though, like for that movie though, for the movie. I was just like, oh, cool. Like a raunchy comedy. I assumed it was going to be because it was called MILF, but it's actually pretty tame for the most part. Like I always associate the word MILF with American Pie. I'm not sure if they actually invented the term, but that was my first time ever hearing the term MILF. Yeah, but I think so. Just also the motivation of all these young guys that they're dating. Everyone's being a hypocrite at one point. Everyone's saying like, oh, date this person. Who cares about the age? Don't date this person because the age. Then like do this, but don't do this. And then like everyone kind of does their opposite by the end of the movie. And then it kind of just ends. Like every character hooks up with a young person at some point, but it's just in a weird way. And like they all have different outcomes towards the end of the movie. And while watching it, though, I was just like, what is their interest in these guys, though? These guys are like scumbags and dirtbags. Like, one of them's okay. But just like the main one that's dating the main girl throughout the movie, just like I was just like, what is her interest in him? And just like she wants him to visit her in Paris when she goes back at some point, and like likes that he's like a decent father figure to her daughter. But I'm just like, that's fine. But just like he's actually like genuinely a piece of shit, though. And yeah, like I don't know why it took her so long to realize it and stuff. We know more as an audience while watching stuff that she doesn't get to see, essentially. But right from the get-go, when they show up to the house unexpected, like I don't remember inviting them. Like, you guys didn't invite them. They're being scumbags. Like, I just got pissed off and shit. Like, this is gonna be the intro of the video. Yeah. I hope we're 5 minutes into this video.
Yeah, that's the intro to the video, and now we're demonetized.
Yeah, we're demonetized. Damn.
God.
Yeah.
Why'd I say God?
That's the worst word. That's the worst word you could get us like demonetized with.
You put the Lord's name in vain, and you said damn. Oh,
yeah.
God. I did it again. Anyways, I think it's just kind of seemed like your average movie. It seemed like a movie that was gonna open in like a French like mainstream theater and like was gonna do all right. I just don't even. The jokes really weren't there. Some of them felt like tired, like especially a scene where she's taking these photos in front of the camera. It's like, oh my god, how many times have I seen this? Someone trying to use technology because they're so old, but also she's trying to sext. Like, it's just kind of like silly, but at the same time not really funny and like not that inventive. And the scene just went on for so long that I was like, all right, come on. Like, I would rather look at that pelican again, because that was probably the best part of the movie for me, was that right. Interesting pelican, like just randomly being in the movie, just an unexplained French trope of having a random animal for no apparent reason in the movie, and then it just being inexplainable and actually ending the film the same way and just having this pelican fly off for no reason.
I'm not sure if it's on the poster, but I guess like a random pelican looks cool to add to a movie poster also, so that could be a thing. I think
it's the whole metaphor for the film, James. Yeah. It's how the pelican is flying away from this beachside town and going back to Paris.
Really appreciate it. Really appreciate that explanation for me. Thank you. Well, explain this, though, too. Like, I was just like, if you let me crash at your place, I'm not going to invite some girl and just start having loud sex in the other room and stuff and just like Like, what the hell? Like, kind of manners is that? She's just bringing a guy when they're not in. Like, oh, like, she's probably back at the place and she's having sex with the guy really loud at her friend's house. Her friend who's going through a divorce and trying to sell this house. And they're just like, yo, you need to lighten up. Like, I wouldn't be able to lighten up. I was just getting frustrated for this, like, girl who's, like, going through this tough period trying to sell this house and just like, yo, your friends aren't helping you out. You need to, like, ditch these friends. Like, I mean, if those are your kind of friends, I'm sorry and stuff. That's just... Blaze and I have been friends for a while, and we don't treat each other that way, so I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, dude. Maybe they were in a drought, I'm assuming. Like,
maybe I'm just a prude too, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it, dude. You're not French enough, I guess, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a different lifestyle, man. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying everyone's like that. I'm just saying, especially the girls in this film, definitely a little bit looser, but they're very, you know, free loving, and they seem like they're having fun, even though sometimes they're being a little bit selfish.
Mm-hmm. How dare they?
So, I mean, I can't, like, totally recommend this movie. I think it's a very niche market, like, the French, like, sex comedy. I think it, like, partly delivers on, like, some of those kind of fun moments, but then, like, at the same time, it just feels very cliche and almost feels like an American movie, where it's just not that, like, original. They're using recycling and reusing a lot of the same jokes that you'd see in, you know, some of these raunchy American comedies, and they're just reusing it for a French audience. So it kind of killed, like, anything that I was interested in, and I was hoping to get something a little bit more serious and, like, really kind of diving into the emotions of, like, engaging in a relationship with somebody that was much younger than you, while being on this holiday kind of getaway romance. But we didn't really get that. This is something that's a little more silly, and it's funny at times, but overall it's just, I didn't laugh out loud as many times as I wanted to.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. And yeah, I think everyone pretty much knows my stance on this movie by now. I mean, I can't recommend it. Like, it's definitely made for a specific crowd, and if you're in that crowd, I hope you genuinely enjoy it and stuff. But there's a lot of great, like, women-led comedies out there. Like, one of my favorites last year was Booksmart, even though it's totally completely different because it's high school girls versus, like, you know, middle-aged women trying to, you know, just relive their younger lifestyle and stuff. But yeah, just there's other comedies to, like, check out and stuff over this one. And as much as I'd love to support, like, a foreign film, just because, you know, there's a lot of foreign films that don't get enough love, this ain't it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say, as they say, that ain't it, Chief.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, I have to thank you so much for watching this video. We always appreciate the support. One of the best ways to support the show is by going ahead and checking this movie out for yourself. It is available on Netflix now.
Yeah, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about the movie. Let us know what you thought about our thoughts on the movie. If you haven't, smash that like button. That really helps support us as well. And hit that subscription button and that notification bell to get all our latest updates on new videos.
That's it for this week. Tune in next week for brand new, fresh releases.